Hello, this is Dave Sugarbaker, and today is the 15th of February, 2026. And the sermon that I have today is a sermon that is from today, and it's from last week as well. Last week, I was at my last Sunday at Manchester Community Church, and this is the sermon I preached. But I saved it for this Sunday when I had my last Sunday at the Presbyterian Church in West Union as well. So this is the end of my work with Manchester and with West Union, and as of the 1st of March, I start as the interim minister at First Presbyterian Church in Maysville. So that's when the next sermon will appear. But this is for today and for last week as well. Sermon title, Good News, Bad News, and the scripture is from Isaiah 43. Thus says the Lord, who makes a way in the sea, a path in the mighty waters, who brings out chariot and horse, army and warrior. They lie down, they cannot rise, they are extinguished, quenched like a wick. Do not remember the former things, or consider the things of old. I am about to do a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Well, I like to begin with good news and bad news. So the good news is change is coming. Be ready. And the bad news is change is coming. Be ready. One of my posters collected in the dark ages before the internet, before Instagram and Facebook memes, one of my old posters was a graphic, and there were words, and the words were that God is alive means that tomorrow will be different from today. Isaiah said, maybe 2,700 years ago, that God would be continuing to do a new thing. We don't live in a Groundhog Day kind of world. Today is not going to be just like yesterday, and tomorrow is not going to be like today. There will be new challenges and new opportunities. Or, if you're a pessimist and you see things negatively, there will be new crises and there will be new obstacles when the new day comes. I looked up a definition of transcendence. And on the web, I looked it up and it said, it's the quality or state of being transcendent. Now that's a lot of help. So I looked up what transcendent means, and it means climbing or going beyond. When we talk about God being transcendent, we recognize that God is beyond us. We talk about God as the God of all that there is, was, or is to be. And that's certainly way beyond human capability. We try to control everything around us, but we consistently fail. We human beings are limited by time and place, but we don't believe that God is limited in that same way. One of the only things that limits God is a gift that God has given to us, and that's the gift of free will. If we choose to make bad choices, God's hands are tied. And that's a huge subject to explore at some other point, not today. Moses complained one day as he was speaking with God that he had never seen God's face. And it was understood at that time that no human being could see God's face and live. Nevertheless, Moses wanted to see God. And God said, all right, let's see what I can do. So God put Moses in a cleft of the rock. And Moses was to hide there as God passed by. And when God had passed, Moses was to pop up from his hiding place and take a look. but all Moses saw was God's back. Didn't see God's face, just the back, as God had passed. And what Moses saw was the back of God moving on ahead into the future. And that's a statement about God's transcendence. God was already headed to the future. In the Old Testament, we human beings are made in God's image, according to Genesis. And in the New Testament, we understand we are God's children. So Old or New Testament, either way we look at it, we have some of the traits of our spiritual parent. Some of them, to some degree. For instance, I can transcend my own interests temporarily and experience how another person feels about living in this world. I can't get inside their skin, but human empathy is possible. Long ago, when I learned that thunder and lightning don't come from clouds bumping together, but they're the result of static electricity, I transcended my previous understanding and gained a more nuanced appreciation of my world. Educators who teach values talk with children about used to thinks. And a used to think is like this, for example. I used to think that it was my job to catch my mistakes before anybody else, so that they would not say the dreaded words, "Dave, you screwed up." And now, for the most part, I have transcended my perfectionism. Now I think mistakes are part of how I learn new things about myself and the world. What we call creativity, learning, growing, maturing, it's all a matter of transcending what we used to know, to reach a new plane of understanding, a new way of looking at life and what happens from day to day. Change is coming. Get ready. There's a hymn that talks about transcendence, and you may remember the hymn, "Once to Every Man and Nation." Its third verse says this: "New occasions teach new duties. Time makes ancient good uncouth. They must upward still and onward who would keep abreast of truth." By the nature of life and time, we can't just catch the truth and put it in a box and sit on it. A new day requires us to transcend the version of truth we already have in our back pocket and learn more than we knew before. Paul puts it this way: "Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things." Keep learning, keep growing, keep changing. Change is coming. Get ready. So that's the good news and the bad news all together. How you view change may depend on whether your glass is half full or half empty. But nevertheless, it's coming. Thank you for your time and your attention. I'm sorry for the on and off again nature of the last few weeks, but I will be picking up very regularly as of March 1st. And in the meantime, if you need to, take a look back at the 150 sermons that there are in this library. Take care. God bless you. See you soon.